I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of the garden just so you can kind of see before. This rain that we're having in the clouds are the outer bands of the hurricane. And then my husband and I are going to go to the gym. I did put all the caterpillars in the house, and I'll show you some video. They're so cute, all snuggled up in together in enclosures. I did not realize how many caterpillars I had till I had to gather them all up and move them in. I have quite a lot, so that'll be fun to show you later. So let's go do a quick walkthrough. You can see it's really calm, not super windy at all. Just a little overcast. There was a good downpour, squally rain band that came through while I was driving home from work, like I said earlier. It was one of those ones where the windshield wipers just basically did nothing. You couldn't see. And the butterfly haven is still up. I've thought to myself, like, I don't even know what I would do with that if it was coming right for us, because there's plants attached to it. Hopefully I never have to think about it. I don't see any butterflies or bees out. They know. Oh my gosh, but look what's happening here. Apparently, there's always time for this. Ladybugs. On my sleepy hibiscus. Okay, guys, okay. Oh, and look, oh my goodness, some of my zinnias that I showed you in my declutter video. Look, we're gonna get a flower. And look, right here, another dahlia is gonna open. Oh, please, please, everybody be okay. Hey, y'all, good morning. It is Wednesday, mid-morning, and I'm in my yoga room slash office because I want to show you all the caterpillars that are in here riding out the storm. And let me tell you, there's a lot of adorableness in this enclosure. Look at these monarchs. And as you can see, I brought in tons of cuttings of twine vine. And if you were to go out and look in my garden, you would not even notice that there's much twine vine missing. That's how much I have. Look at this little guy right here. But not only are there monarchs in here, in my giant enclosure where my giant swallowtail caterpillars are in the wild lime, instead of bringing in the huge pots those wild lime trees are on, I left them out there and I just took cuttings of all of the branches that the caterpillars were on. Let me pick it up so you can see them all hanging out in here. So cute. Nice and safe. And then right behind them is a dill plant that's got Maypop passion vine coming into it. I've got a bunch of Gulf fritillary caterpillars in here, and then on the dill are some, where are you, baby? There. On the dill are a couple of eastern black swallowtail caterpillars. And again, I brought in a ton of cuttings of Maypop passion vine. These cuttings, this is the incense, the hybrid Maypop. They do so well in water, they last forever. So they're literally just a bunch of cuttings that I took off the back bushes in a glass jar. And there's a monarch. Look. Look, there's a monarch on the maypole patch of mine. It probably came over here to molt because they tend to leave their plant when they want to molt. So I'm just going to leave it be. It'll come back. There's another golf fritillary. I just found my little queen on the bottom of the enclosure, so she was moving around down there. I'm going to put her back. There we go. But this isn't all. I have another enclosure in here. I had to bring this one in because there were a lot of monarchs who had gone off on the side to molt. You can see them all there. They're still there where they were when I brought it in yesterday. So I put more twine vine cuttings in here for them so they'll have a place to return to. But also this dill has some tiny baby black swallowtail caterpillars. And there were more eggs on here, so there might even be more than these two. So I put this plant in here with the twine vine cuttings with the molters. And that's everybody. You guys, I just came out to my garden room to start putting my plants fit together, my plant lights, because I took all that down. It's still thundering and it's still drizzling. And there's a zebra longwing butterfly flying around right out there. She's like, I was hungry and I am not waiting anymore. I want some nectar. Look at that. I haven't even walked through my garden yet. I wasn't planning on doing that until I reset up my garden room. But now that I'm out here, I want to go look. I mean, everything looks good. Everything looks really green. It's certainly had a lot of rain, that's for sure. I got all my lights on, and look who eclosed today. I hope it clears up later today so I can release this one. But if it doesn't, I'll bring in some cut flowers for it. How beautiful is that? Just gonna hang it. It's still drying its wings, so I'm just gonna hang it up on the top. There you go, baby. All right, I'm going to venture out in my garden now. Everything looks fine, but I'm just going to do a quick walkthrough and see what's out there, see what's going on. It's so good to have this behind me, and now I'm off the rest of today, and I'm off tomorrow, and I have a long weekend, so there's lots of gardening fun to come. You know, now would be a great time to start dumping this pine bark because it's cool out. I just might. There's a good, strong tropical breeze. I really think I might run pine bark down this main walkway where my lab Coco's standing. Hey, Coco. She's my old girl. You don't see her a lot because she's really old. She's She's about to turn 13, and for a lap, you know, that's a good age, and she's doing well for her age. Anyway, I think I'm going to run the pine bark down here because I think it will just add that touch of a more put together garden woodsy look than just the dirt. What do you think, Coco? Look at her little gray face. Hey, sweet girl. She also has a lot of hearing loss, so I have to yell at her to get her to hear me. See here on the other side where it is all pine bark, the walkway. I just like it. I love pine bark. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I love pine bark. So I think I'm going to go do that right now. Why not? So here's a before. You guys, I am absolutely loving the pine bark. It smells so good. It gives that whole garden walkway a more lush, woodsy feeling. And I just love it. But I'm not done yet, so I'm not showing you yet. The whole time that I have been dumping all of this pine bark, this is what's going through my head. Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce, special orders don't upset us. Why? First of all, do you know what that's from? And second, I'm vegan. Why would I even be thinking about that? Okay, just thought I'd share that. I'm going back to playing that little song in my head and finishing my pine bark. Look at my walkway. I feel like it just makes it look so much more lush and woodsy. Of course, pine bark, I mean, it's bark. I had enough. I was able to go up between the two wetland gardens. And I was able to cover the cardboard. So now it's pine barked all down there. And when you turn the other way, there's my little driveway that goes back to my work area where we pull the cart in and out when we're loading up plants. And I had enough to go down there. So I still need some more. But, oh my gosh, it looks so good. I'll probably still leave this section down here dirt just because I like to walk in dirt once in a while. And oh no, look, my zinnia. I'm just gonna tuck this flower behind that maypop because the maypop's attached to the side, and then it can help hold those zinnias up. There we go, so much better. What was I saying? Oh, I like to walk in dirt, and my dogs like to dig. So this whole area down here will probably stay dirt. I might even leave that walkway alone. I'm not sure. And this walkway, well, that's a whole another project. But I have plans for that. I definitely have plans for that. And the best thing is I didn't even break a sweat. I mean, I poured, it was 15 to 20 bags of pine bark, and I didn't even sweat because there's a lovely breeze. Okay, on to other things. Everything in the butterfly haven looks just like it did before the storm. So that's fabulous. Everything looks just as it was, and we got a great drenching water. Oh, I'm so relieved. But I do have to say, the season is not over, and very easily next week, I could be doing this very same thing again.